Hello, everyone. So, I know that more than a few of us who are actually fighters or actually trainers and involved in boxing or the fight game, we're in the trenches. Some of us have gotten fairly disgusted with where the fight game, specifically boxing, is at the moment. And it's turned into a bit of a sideshow. I think we can all agree. Now, a lot of that comes up because of what's been going on with Ryan Garcia, but I would like to point our fingers a little bit further back at really the people in charge. Now, so the question is, when did boxing sell its soul to these, whatever you want to call them, social media stars? Well, in my opinion, boxing sold its soul when Showtime first put on one of those two blonde brothers. That was step one. And so remember, at that time, Showtime was still involved in boxing, and Stephen Espinoza was at the top of that. Now, Showtime's since gotten out of boxing, and Espinoza, remember, he's moved over laterally. He is now still running things over at Amazon Prime, and they're the ones that are going to show all the PBC, all the Al Heyman fights. So he's still got a hand in the game. That's my point. But in my opinion, when Showtime decided they were going to put on one of those two blonde boys, that was the beginning of the end. Now, it got even worse, and it's still even worse when DAZN, I call it DAZN because that's how it's spelled. DAZN spells DAZN. It does not spell DAZN. If you want to spell DAZN, it should be D''Z''ON or D''ZON for the Brits and the Canucks in the house. In any case, DAZN decides that it's gonna sell out the O2 and fill it up with people who want to watch these guys who aren't even as rigorous as the Blonde Brothers. The Blonde Brothers at least take enough PEDs to look like they're athletes, and they go and they pretend to box in a boxing gym enough so that they could imitate a boxer. But DAZN decides it's going to put on these guys who look like they've never left a basement or something. They've never even gone outside and played hopscotch. They're so unathletic. They cannot box, let alone probably run down the block or, I don't know, do 25 jumping jacks. They're just diehard Twitchers, YouTubers, TikTokers, whatever you want to call them, but they certainly have like little to no athletic capability, let alone any fighting capability. So, Lord knows why DAZN wants to put them on their platform. Well, of course, it's because they have a large following amongst the tweens and the, I guess, 25s and under demographic. Now, it used to be that television wanted, I think it's 18 to 34. That was the demographic. 18 to 34-year-old male was the demographic that live TV wanted, or terrestrial television wanted. But it looks like at this point we're aiming even lower. So I was wondering why that is, and the only reason I could think of is that these tweens and teenagers have access to their parents' credit card, so they can charge stuff, or they know how to throw enough of a tantrum that if their parent doesn't buy them the pay-per-view, they'll throw a temper tantrum and cry and pound the floor as they scream, so the parent gives in and pays for the pay-per-view. Other than that, I'm not really sure why DAZN wants to appeal to kids who just sit on the couch or sit in the basement and watch people live stream their video game playing all day and all night. In any case, when do you think boxing sold its soul? What was that turning point for you? Do you think boxing can come back from this? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much for listening.